This is GeoEnvironmental Atmospheric Forecaster Andrew Fleck. It's now Wednesday morning, and we're going to be looking toward our Midwestern region of the country as we are going to be bracing for quite a bit of a late season and wintry storm, that being ice and snow. This is going to begin into our Wednesday, last throughout Thursday, late Thursday, as it progresses from south to northeast. What we have in front of you right now, and we will go back to this image again, is the spectrum of snowfall that some of these models are outputting come beginning Wednesday and lasting into the first half of Thursday. You can see there obviously some of those blues, a little lighter moderate snowfall, but the more concentrated pinks, that's where we're seeing maybe potentially some of the heavy snow of a foot or more. That very much concentrated over Kansas, even Nebraska, even eastern Colorado. These locations we're going to have to be watching very closely throughout our Wednesday and Thursday. We have not sampled anything any further east from there, that being Thursday afternoon and on. We want to make sure that we take this very slow and show you some of that data that's coming in for the next 18 to 24 hours, that lasting up into here as you see Thursday afternoon. Now what we're going to do here is something very simple. We're going to show you the simulated reflect composed of precipitation types. We're going to start here for our Wednesday morning, and we're going to go all the way into Thursday afternoon, kind of explain the setup, where some of the heaviest snow could potentially line up to be, and then even show some of those icy spots, some locations even perhaps half an inch or more of ice. So what we're going to start off is showing you the simulated deal here for our Wednesday afternoon or early afternoon. And even radar here shows some rain currently into Texas, southern tips of Oklahoma, but where we have that white, that's our snow, the green obviously our rain, and you will see some pink mixed in there, that is our freezing rain or ice. And so really what has conspired into this big major storm, or the beginnings of it should I say, is a series of low pressure systems and some moisture combined out of the southwest. That is going to define itself one significant low pressure. This is going to eventually dig further deep into the region, and that's going to pivot some heavy snow and cause some ice for the other locations the further south you are, even a little much needed rain. So a lot of this does good and some of it not so good for those who aren't the best travelers, that being in the Midwest, when those snowstorms do arise. In this situation, that will be occurring here later Wednesday and Thursday. But what we do see here is our morning for Wednesday and afternoon. Much of that snow will be stretching into northern Oklahoma and then Kansas. Now, the storm system has not wrapped up yet. That means it has not intensified yet. So this might not be all that heavy into Wednesday, but come toward Thursday or late Wednesday, Thursday, where the storm begins to wrap up, that's where we see more of a accumulating snow, heavier intensities of snow. But for now, a lot of that's going to warrant around the southern plains, that being Oklahoma, Texas, find generally central Oklahoma, north Oklahoma, maybe some snow. And further north is where we really find more of the most densely areas for snow. This again was for our late morning on Wednesday. Now if we scoot a bit now toward the late afternoon on Wednesday, we see that rain beginning to push still into Oklahoma here, some of that ice mixing further into western Arkansas, northeast Oklahoma. Again, most of the colder air from a high pressure northward is going to keep a lot of that colder air settled into Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado. You do see some of that snow in all over the Colorado mountains and back over New Mexico. And that's as that storm begins to track into the region, things will begin to strengthen, and all that snow will begin to spread throughout the region as well. And we'll show you that here now for Wednesday evening now, that rain continuing to where it is. A lot of this light snow now into Kansas, now into Nebraska. By later Wednesday night, we find now some ice beginning for now Oklahoma. We find the low pressure now being somewhere in New Mexico, maybe where the Texas Panhandle is, Oklahoma Panhandle. Snow will start getting heavier around Wednesday night, especially up into these upper Midwest states. And then by pretty much the beginning of or overnight Wednesday into Thursday, This is when the low pressure begins to strengthen. This is when we begin to get the intensification. Some of that snow beginning to really wrap itself around this low pressure toward now Kansas, Nebraska, and Colorado. The icing is still a concern out there in Arkansas and Oklahoma. I think that corridor there is going to have to worry about some major icing issues. And toward Thursday, our early morning commute, we do find still a lot of that snow being over into the locations of Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado. Snow, ice continuously down there in the southern plains. That corridor of Oklahoma, again, to Arkansas will need some watching. And then, of course, we just continue to move on throughout Thursday. Now, this is definitely when the storm begins to intensify, and all that snow is beginning to pivot right into Kansas, right into Nebraska, right into Colorado. That's where those rates will go up 6 inches, 8 inches. There probably will be a location, either Kansas or somewhere around the states further west or north, that do get some spots of an isolated foot or more. And then we show you our last frame here of that snow continuing. So really, this video was not to go too much in detail. It was just to show you, here's the progression for Wednesday and into Thursday. Our accumulation map here out of the latest model guidance does show some of the lightest snow being around north central Oklahoma, even Arkansas, Missouri, but where we find it more concentrated, it extends over Kansas, Nebraska, and Colorado. You do see some of that pink there in the Colorado mountains, the elevation, some of that enhancement that always causes more accumulation. But your main focus for some of those locations in the central Midwest is Kansas. You guys are now under many watches, some warnings soon beginning Wednesday. You need to keep a close eye on that. And GeoEnvironmental Atmosphere will be here with the latest updates when the storm begins to strike. So for now, take care, and we will update you soon again.